Action figure deconstruction. What is up? Welcome to another episode of Action Figure Deconstruction. I am the Master of Disaster, Josh45, and with me as always is CBS, the Master Collector. What is up, man?
Not a lot.
So today we are doing Raiden, the Merciless Guardian from Mortal Kombat series by McFarlane Toys. Very, very detailed figure, like McFarlane Toys is notorious for. But, you ready to deconstruct this thing?
Sure. Someone's got to do it.
All right, here we go. A couple slices of some tape on the sides and the top. It slides open pretty easy. You can slide the figure out with the package mostly intact. And an upgrade from your normal twist ties that some figures come with or used to come with. There's just little bands that span across, just a little snip. And you work yourself down. Raiden comes with his traditional lightning. He comes with two alternate hands. The only part that's not resealable is the foot stand. You have to tear up the box for that. But on the plus side, you get a foot stand. So the hat is not removable. It's molded onto the head. The head is on a ball joint. It moves in all 360, up and down, side to side. All your different angles. So the shoulder, have your basic up and down, side to side, rotating 360 joint. The upper arm, and a 360 motion. Have your classic double jointed elbow. And your hand turns 360, but also moves up and down. The waist moves in a 360, but also goes side to side and back and forth. The hip, instead of being on a ball joint, it's more of a hinge. So it goes out and twists, but it doesn't have your normal flexibility. The knee has your normal, similar to the elbow, the double jointed. The ankle works on a ball joint that goes up and down in a 360 motion. And then you have your toe. The hands are replaceable. Pops out. Speed gentle. The new one pops right back in.
Raiden wins.
So McFarlane Toys, Mortal Kombat, Raiden the Merciless Guardian action figure.
Merciless Guardian.
Merciless. Like Ming the Merciless.
Right. Same idea.
It's a $20 to $25 action figure depending on where you get it. It does come in a case with several other figures. It comes with a Johnny Cage, a Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and a Spawn. Here's the deal. So the Sub-Zero and the Scorpion both have variant action figures that you can get at GameStop, I guess. The Frozen variant for Sub-Zero, he's like a blue,
icy looking,
frozen, looking guy. And then Scorpion is the Smolder variant. He has a different color. He comes with
like a white tint, and his swords are green.
And his swords are green, and he's got a different face mask.
The
Spawn variant, I guess, is a Walmart exclusive, but it is slowly being filtered out to other retailers as well, and it is with a sword. So the only difference with the Spawn is the regular Spawn comes with a mace, and then the variant comes with a sword. So there is that. So keep your eyes open for those variants. I'm not sure how chase that they are, but the Scorpion and Sub-Zero seem pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they look awesome. I mean, they all look awesome, but yeah, as far as chaseability to them, if the two are store exclusives, I imagine that's the only type they probably get, I guess.
Yeah, possibly, because that Darth Revan that we got seemed like it was pretty easy to come by.
Yeah.
So.
Well, at least at the beginning. I mean, it's just like every figure.
Right.
When they first drop, of course, there's tons of them, and then afterwards, of course, they dry up. But yeah, it's not like one that you're going to find at a Walmart in theory or a Target. You're not going to find the GameStop versions.
So dislikes on this figure. McFarlane Toys continues to do things that I'm not super stoked with. This is more like I want to say like a 1/11 to 1/10 scale. It's bigger than your Marvel Legends or your Star Wars Black series or any of those kinds of figures. It's just slightly bigger, so it's like a 7 to 8 inch figure. The joints are very, very stiff. So regardless of if you're just a casual collector and you just want to take it out of the box, or you're somebody who's going to leave it in the box, just something you need to know. Heat up the joints before you move them around, because we have, with other McFarlane Toys figures in the past, we've had issues with the joints, just the foot snapping off when you're just trying to barely move it. A really cool company called Sparrow Toys that does Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, they like send a little like note that says like, please heat up your joints before you move them, because they could possibly break, which theirs were fine. They didn't even need to do that. But with McFarlane Toys, I would definitely suggest that. This
the rule of thumb for things. I mean, if you're a collector and you want to make sure to take care of things, even for kids, I mean, you got to be careful with stuff because everything's fragile. But yeah, as a rule of thumb, I'd say it's a good idea to boil them first slightly. I mean, it's not like you have to cook the things, but you know,
just like hot water.
Yeah.
We'll do the trick. It does come with 22 points of articulation, as we just showed you. A second set of hands. It comes with his classic lightning, more red than blue this time around.
That might be a Mortal Kombat 11 thing. I mean, this line of figures is for Mortal Kombat 11, so gameplay wise, that may be a game thing. I don't know enough to know that, because I haven't really, other than seeing video, I haven't really played the game.
And that's why Spawn is in this wave of figures, because Spawn is a downloadable character for the new game.
He is.
So,
which at some point, Ant-Man 2050 should have videos for Mortal Kombat 11. So
check that out on YouTube. And there's a link to it at top5comicspodcast.com.
Yep. Si, senor.
The one thing that McFarlane Toys always does well is their sculpt. It's a beautiful looking figure. The detail is super amazing.
Oh yeah,
you can't
the armor
really go
looks
wrong.
amazing. All the texture, like everything texturally, just like the statue figures he was making back with the Spawn line before it ended. Like they all look amazing.
Even the wood grain on the staff is incredible.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Yeah, and like the style of the lightning bolts. I mean, just like when we did the Ghostbusters with the lightning or the proton pack blast, this is a very similar style to it. Like it's really pretty aggressive and like awesome instead of just a generic piece you attach. So the way they look, I mean, there's a 360 element to the whole thing, which is freaking awesome. Display wise,
besides the posability, which the posability is great, it just be careful with it. But it's definitely built for an adult collector. We always like to bring up the child factor just in case, because I think toys are traditionally just for children, and as we all grew up, we never quit liking toys. And so as far as an action figure goes, if your kid likes Mortal Kombat, just have them be careful with it. There's some smaller pieces, but it's a really awesome figure. It'd be really fun to play with. I'm surprised that the hat doesn't come off. To me, I think that's an interesting thing. I thought that'd be like, instead of molding them together, it'd be a pretty simple thing to not do.
I kind of thought it was weird when it didn't come off, actually, because it looked like it would in the package. Oh well.
But other than that, it's a beautiful looking figure. It's a fun figure. You can't go wrong with Mortal Kombat ever.
Sure. Cool thing, it does come with the stand. It does have big holes. So as far as that, I mean, that's cool. It's not a very big stand. But
not a lot of figures that come with stands these days.
No, most of them don't. So that's really cool.
The box art's pretty decent. It's basically just like a zoomed in photo of the actual figure itself. But I figured that since they probably spent so much money on the sculpt of the figure, they're like, we're not going to hire somebody to do extra animation just for this.
Yeah, and since it's a game figure, I mean, I guess you could have used game footage and been more like close to the style the figure's supposed to be, but I'm okay with the photo art. Not quite the same as comic book figures, but, you know, it's also a game figure, so it's not the same at all. Yeah, I don't know, the box is okay.
When it comes to customization, really, since they're kind of their own line / wave, like they only fit their size wise. So unless you're going to do like a Serpentor action figure for the new G.I. Joe upcoming line, which he kind of reminds me of a Serpentor because he has so much green and gold.
Which would be sweet.
And, you know, Serpentor is supposed to be a lot larger than most men, but, you know, there's not a lot of, I'm sure any customizer out there can do something cool with any figure, but this one's just pretty much, it's basically for the diehard Mortal Kombat fan out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, like we've said about other figures, you could paint him. I'm not sure why you would. I mean,
right.
You can make it paint him to be classic Raiden, so take away the green and replace it with a bunch of white and gray, but to what end other than just if that's what you like? So you can paint him.
But other than that, if you're into Mortal Kombat, you're going to love this figure.
Yeah.
And if you like McFarlane Toys and you like what they do, you'll probably like this figure a lot. But other than that, it's kind of a niche thing.
Yeah, just like every flavor of figure. I mean, if you don't like Superman, you don't like Superman. Same thing. If you don't like Mortal Kombat, you're not going to care about it. Just like everything else. But as a figure in general, I mean, it's really cool. I dig it. So, I mean, there's that, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely its own line of things. And even the size makes it hard to fit with other lines. I mean, you could have him battle Raiden, but Raiden's going to be like what appears
smaller.
To be 2 feet shorter than... 2 feet shorter than, so like that's also kind of weird. I mean,
that was my one weird thing about it. I thought it was going to be in the same size range, and it's not. But it's fine. It's very for niche collectors who that's what they're into. So it is what it is. But ultimately, you get what you get with McFarlane. Like, he does things his own way. He's always going to. He always has. You know that you're going to get like a very good looking figure when you are good looking anything with him, but you got to deal with some other things like the size or, you know, the moldings or the joints or whatever. There's just certain things that we've come to recognize from like going through all these different reviews that we've done.
Sure. You know, I do kind of wonder how this will stack up against his Kickstarter spawn and like the spawn for Mortal Kombat. I wonder how those things will compare to each other. So that'll be interesting to see whenever that thing finally drops.
Right. So I am at Windle24. It's WINDLE24 on social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and such. You are at
Top 5 Comics CBS on Instagram.
Everything else that we do is at top5comicspodcast.com. There's links to all of our stuff, including this show, the Never Been Done podcast, and the Top 5 Comics podcast. This is an extension of the Top 5 Comics podcast that we started quite a while ago now.
Yeah.
We figured that a video version would be better than a audio version.
Yeah, podcast
description, which, yeah. We also have...
Well, this show is at Action Figure Deconstruction, also on Instagram and on Facebook.
Yeah, all of our socials are that. Like
everywhere else.
I had a link there.
Follow, subscribe. I mean, you know, that's what we're supposed to do.
If you like action figures, if you like what we're doing, there's a ton of unboxing videos online, and I see like a lot of them aren't as fun as this one. because I'm biased and I think that ours is the best. So we are the best, and I'm going to stick with that. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and love us. That's all I have to. That's all I ask. It's pretty simple.
Someone please love him.
Send some messages our way if there's a figure that you know that's coming out soon, or one that you would like us to see break down. Shoot us a message and we'll see what we can do.
Sure.
And we will give you a shout out in that. But until next time, Wonder Twin Power.
Activate.
So I am shape of next bat time.
Killing me, Smalls.
Okay, I'm a shape of a bat.
Take 2. Wonder's powers. Activate.
I'm the shape of a bat.
Form of Aubrey Plaza's hot tub water.
Did we have a noise last time? Pew, pew, pew.